So by this point, you should have already looked at kinematics with variable acceleration in one dimension. That's kinematics where you have to differentiate and integrate to find expressions for velocity, acceleration, displacement, etc. Now we're going to extend it to be in 2 dimensions, and there isn't much of a jump to be able to do that. So first of all, remember the hierarchy of displacement differentiates to velocity, differentiates to acceleration, all with respect to time. So to get from displacement to velocity, we differentiate with respect to time. To get from velocity to acceleration, we differentiate with respect to time, like that. So a particle P has position vector r meters at time t seconds. And you can see r is a vector because it's bold, where r is 3t minus 5 I plus t cubed plus t j. Find an expression for velocity. So first of all, what I'm going to do is write this as a column vector. It's always better to write things as column vectors. So r, the position, is equal to 3t minus 5 as an I component and t cubed plus t as a j component. And it's asked us to find an expression for the velocity. So we know that velocity is the differential of displacement, like that. So velocity dr by dt. And what we simply do is just differentiate each component of the vector. So if we differentiate the top component of the vector, we get 3. And if we differentiate the bottom component, we get 3t squared plus 1, like that. And meters per second. So that there is an expression for the velocity of the particle. Hence, find an expression for the speed of the particle at time t. Well, the speed of the particle is simply the length of the velocity vector. It's the magnitude of the velocity vector. So speed, we would simply do Pythagoras on the velocity vector here. 3 squared plus 3t squared plus 1 squared. And no pressure to multiply it out, but let's just simplify it because we can. 9 plus, and that's 9t to the 4 plus 6t squared plus 1 equals the root of, and that's 9t to the 4 plus 6t squared plus 10. Therefore, summarising, the speed is equal to root of 9t to the 4 plus 6t squared plus 10 meters per second also is the unit of speed. And part 3, find the time at which the magnitude of acceleration of the particle is 6 meters per second squared. So we've got an expression for velocity, so we just need to differentiate again, just like we did with variable acceleration in one dimension. So the acceleration is the differential of the velocity vector with respect to time equals, well, we differentiate the velocity vector here, the top component becomes 0, bottom component becomes 6t. So there's the expression for acceleration. And we want the magnitude of the acceleration of the particle to be 6 meters per second. Now we can probably do this just by looking at it, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the formal method. So therefore, the magnitude of acceleration is 0 squared plus 6t squared rooted equals, well, that just becomes 6t, and we're told that it equals 6 there, so that's equal to 6. Therefore, the time equals 1 second. And there we have it. The magnitude of the acceleration of the particle is 6. So there's very little extra above and beyond the one-dimensional kinematics with variable acceleration that you've already done. So let's move on to another question, and one slight extension, one which I've already covered though in the previous lesson, is looking at direction and position of particles, this time with variable acceleration. And here it is here. A particle P has position vector r meters relative to an origin O at time t seconds, where the position r is 3t squared minus 5i plus t squared plus t, j. Find the time at which the particle is due north of the origin and travelling in a northeastward direction. So part 1. Well, it's talking now about the position of the particle. The particle is itself due north of the origin. So if this is the origin here, the particle has a position that's due north of it. So when it has position due north of the origin, we know that the x-coordinate, i.e. this bit here, is 0. Therefore, that means that 3t squared minus 5 equals 0, which means that 3t squared equals 5, which means that t squared equals 5/3, which means that t equals, and putting that in the calculator, the root of 5/3 is root 15/3 seconds. And plus or minus is technically correct. However, we're going to discard the negative one because the time starts at 0. We can see there time is greater than or equal to 0 since t bigger than or equal to 0. So there it has position directly north of the origin. Part 2, travelling in a northeastward direction. Now this, only slightly harder, but a little bit harder. Remember, direction of travel from the previous lesson was velocity. So we now need the velocity vector. So dr by dt, which is equal to velocity, is, in this case, so differentiate the I component, we get 6t. Differentiate the j component, we get 2t plus 1. And travelling a northeastward direction is this direction here. For every 1 unit we go to the right, we'll go 1 unit up. It's on the line y equals x. It's where both the components of velocity are equal. So it's travelling in the direction 1, 1. Therefore, 6t equals 2t plus 1. Which means that 4t equals 1, which means that t equals 1/4 of a second. And there we have it. A short and sharp lesson showing that there's very little difference between this vector mechanics and the mechanics that you've already considered and learnt in one dimension when doing this sort of thing. Have a go at the questions, check every answer as you go.